Here it is.
You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tell, Mr. Coe. This is UMF, Unstoppable Mission Force Control. Your new UMF mission, should you choose to accept it, is of critical importance to New York Telephone. As you know, when we do work in competitive situations, federal and state regulations now require New York Telephone to bill its customers directly for time and materials. Your challenge? To carefully distinguish the difference between regulated situations and competitive ones. To communicate that difference to customers so that they clearly understand what they are charged for and why. And to complete all the paperwork for the customer's statement of premises work charges, your timesheet, and the service order.
That's a lot of paperwork. We're gonna need a file cabinet for our truck.
I know you don't enjoy these new rules.
Has he been talking to our foreman?
The bottom line is, nobody gets a free ride anymore. If we don't follow the rules and charge for time and materials accurately, New York Telephone could be forced out of this part of the business. And that would mean many lost jobs, as well as huge amounts of lost revenue.
Hey, this is important. This could be my job.
You got that right.
As usual, if you accept this mission, New York Telephone will do its utmost to support you. But, as always, the responsibility is yours. Good luck, Jim. And Tim. And hey, guys, just a personal suggestion. How about a healthier diet?
I think he's been talking to my wife.
This recording will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
I'm an installer. I'm not used to having to give customers a bill.
Seems like the company's worrying more about rules than about wiring.
Hey, wait a minute. Bottom line, kid. We've got to follow those rules. Our jobs are at stake.
I hear you.
Before we get going, let's make sure we understand our mission. When do we install a network interface?
We install the network interface, 1, when the line ends in customer-provided inside wire or common control equipment. 2, if we get a service order to install new or additional inside wire. 3, if we extend our network to a new or renovated location. And 4, when an NPV requires a field visit to install inside wire.
Okay, wise guy. Where do we put the network interface?
We install the network interface on the customer premises as close as possible to the protector, cable terminal, or point of entry.
How close?
10 feet or less from the horizontal point of entry.
Okay, that's enough. Okay, buddy. Let's face the music.
Hi. We're from New York Telephone.
Come on in. They tried to turn my phones on from headquarters, but it didn't work. I guess that's why they sent you guys. Maybe while you're here, you could put in 2 more jacks. 1 here and 1 in the bedroom.
We're gonna need to look around your apartment to check the lines, and then we'll have to get down to the basement.
I can tell you right now, those wires have been torn out. We're gonna have to replace them.
Hey, what about T&M?
What's T&M?
It's time and materials. We gotta charge you for that.
What do you mean charge? I've already been told I have to pay over $50 just to have you turn on my service.
Tell her.
Tell me what?
It's no big deal.
Excuse me. But it's like this, miss. The price you were quoted does not include our having to do wiring here in your apartment. Under the new government regulations, we have to charge you time and material for all the inside work, like installing the new wires and jack. Any work we do outside or in the basement is still included in your $50 charge you were quoted on the phone. Tim, why didn't you tell her about time and materials? I thought you understood our mission.
I do.
And?
The network interface is the boundary between the regulated zones and the competitive areas.
And that means?
All installation and repair work we do from the network interface out to the central office is charged under regulated rates. But any installation work we do from the network interface into the jack is competitive work. And we now have to give the customer a statement of premises work charges for all of that.
Great. Only you've got to tell it to the customers and slow down. Talk so that they can understand you. That's our mission, remember?
Okay, right.
Now, before we go back up, let's finish this part. What exactly is covered under time and materials?
Well, any supplies or materials we use to do the job, like wires or jacks.
What about time?
Right, work time, housekeeping, even time writing up the statement of premises work charges. We now have to bill the customer directly for all of that.
Good. Now let me make sure you understand the regulated side of our work. What is never included under time and materials? And remember, slow down.
You got it. We don't include any network jobs. For example, dial tone or network interface work.
Uh-huh. What else?
We don't include travel time, even if we have to return to the garage for materials.
And?
Time and materials does not include disconnect orders, removal of inside wiring, or making out our timesheets. You like that better?
Okay, kid. Let's go get him. Okay, time for paperwork.
You know, I think they work at making this complicated. Like, totally.
Now what are you doing?
We're making your bill.
What's that?
Jim, remember, communication.
Here we list the items we use to do the work. The wires, the jacks. The price is all in here, like, totally.
Yeah? And what's that mean?
This part is the time charges. $50 for the first half hour or less, and any time over that is billed at $20 for each 15 minutes.
So you're gonna bill me for an hour, even if it only took you 57 minutes?
55 minutes.
Yeah, right.
And down here, we total up the time and materials.
Yeah,
Please sign here.
no problem. Now, I'm gonna write a song for you guys. And I'm gonna call it...
T&M?
You got it. Time and materials.
Hey, I like that.
And remember to call dispatch to have an order issued to cover the work done.
Okay, boss. It's time for you to go to school. It's timesheet time. How is our timesheet different from the statement of premises work charges?
On the timesheet, all our time is covered. Exactly. Whether there are T&M charges or not.
Okay, get more specific.
The customer premise installation took 55 minutes. We round that off to the nearest quarter hour, and we put that down as 68 PE time on our timesheet. You got it?
Yeah, it's 1 hour.
Hey, you got it.
Hi, we're from New York Telephone. This is Jim Tell, and I'm Tim Coe. Are you Mr. Weber?
Yes? And you're here to put in my new phone jack.
That's us.
Well, come on in then. I want it over there. I spent a lot of time in this room, and my son told me I should have a phone in here. He's giving it to me for a birthday present.
By the way, Mr. Weber, when you placed the order, I'm sure they told you we'd have to charge time and materials for all our inside work?
No, I don't know about that. Now, my son placed the order.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they told him.
Look, I've been dealing with the phone company for more than 50 years, and I've never had to pay any such thing as a...
Time and materials. It's not that we want to charge for it, Mr. Weber, but these are new government rules. From now on, any company that does inside work, including New York Telephone, has to charge for it. We charge $50 minimum for time for the first half hour or less, and then $20 for each additional 15 minutes. We also charge for any materials we use to do the job, like the wiring or the jacks. Those cost about $15.
Times sure have changed. Seems like you have to pay for everything nowadays.
It's up to you, Mr. Weber. You requested the service, and we have to charge for it.
No. I want that jack. And my son said I didn't have to worry about the expense. So I'll say, well, everything's okay, so go on, put it in.
Good. Will you show us where the lines come into the house?
I'm not sure, but probably in the basement.
Okay. Jimmy and I need to go down there and check it out.
You know, Mr. Weber, one way to save a little money is to take the stuff off the table. That way, when we come up, we won't have to bill you for any waiting time.
That helps, thank you.
You know, it really smells good in here.
I'm baking a pecan pie. If it's done before you leave, you young fellas might like to have a piece. And I won't charge you for time or materials.
Thanks. I haven't eaten in,
5 minutes. Let's go downstairs. We'll be right back.
This is your jack, your entrance bridge, and your wiring. The whole thing took us 45 minutes, and that's your total for time and materials. Okay, you want to sign there for me?
Well, looks okay to me. By the way, young man, I appreciate the way you explain those charges.
That's our job. We're in the communications business.
Mission Control, this is Tel & Co. reporting in. Mission accomplished, including every last piece of paperwork.
And every last piece of pie, too, I bet. Well, congratulations. You guys did the job right first time out. You showed you know the difference between competitive and regulated work. You communicated that difference clearly to the customer. And you did your paperwork completely. With competition the way it is, you have made an important contribution.
That's why you call us UMPH, Unstoppable Mission Force, isn't it?
Not really. Just kidding. Keep up the good work. Over and out.
You got you, Jim.
What do you mean? He got you, too.
Hey, I'm starving. How about a snack before we go home for dinner?
Sorry. I'm taking Mission Control's advice. I'm starting a new diet. Gotcha!
As of November 19, 1988, time and materials should be charged for repairs as well as installation work. This applies to any inside wiring not covered by a wire maintenance plan. Although the basic procedures are the same as those you follow for installation, the time charge and work operation code differ. For competitive repair work, the time charge is $20 for each quarter hour. The work operation code to be recorded on your timesheet is 68 PR. And to ensure billing, you must use the new form to cover work done service order request. Remember, we're counting on you to make the appropriate T&M charges for installations and repairs as required by law. Keep up the good work, and see you next mission.
This Work Center information package has been prepared for craft personnel who will be using the Model 7910 KC micro terminal from Communications Manufacturing Company.